Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello, everyone.
Hello!
Hello, another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
It's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm the other co-host, David Bell.
And a third person.
Hi! I did it. I spoke.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Liz Shannon Miller. I'm a former coworker of Tom's and current person who covers a lot of film and TV.
Welcome.
Yay!
First
Thank you so much for
timer.
being on, Liz.
Thank you. I'm excited. You guys, I have my Google Doc all open and all of these very logical and sensical words on my screen right now are very, very, very helpful.
It won't help you at all. It's
We're going to walk you through all these words.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and they will become clearer.
Well,
I just appreciate any sort of parenthetical note that includes rhymes with jizz.
mhm.
Yeah.
We have a pronunciation guide for all of our Patreon supporters.
Yes.
Yeah, this is all very official.
We want to say it right, obviously.
They paid you good money. They deserve.
Exactly.
Yes. They've earned it. They've earned the word jizz next to their names.
Oh, man. Speaking of paying us good money, Dave, why don't we go ahead and start naming some of these producers?
Wow, jumping right into it. I guess that is, so I just want to say, we have a lot of trailers because we took a break.
We do. We took a week off. I took 4 scant little days of vacation.
What a fool. What a fool you were.
Yeah.
I was, because I did
paying
not
for it.
stop getting emailed by work not a single
Ah.
hour while I was away.
Yeah.
That is vexing.
That's what you get, Tom. That's
what
you get.
That's what I get for living.
Yep, exactly.
Going on vacation. What am I?
I
Sorry,
don't know,
talk me
man.
through that word again. What was the word?
Vacation. It's a thing wealthy people do.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That sounds like fun. But when do you like?
It
Do you like
sounds
work-
like fun.
Do you do like the work at night? Is that when you do the
Yeah,
work?
Yes.
and like in transit.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I can handle that.
Yeah. You do work
all
during
right.
your downtime on vacation.
We should jump right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And name some producers. So big thank you to Hombre. That's my grizzled voice this week. It'll change every week because I've decided. Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
So convenient.
Thank you to Left.
Thank you.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporia.
One-stop donut home shop.
Thank you to Ryan the Silly Money Goose.
Thank you.
Thank you to Snapper Car Punches God in the Dick.
Sure does.
Yeah. Thank you to @Nerd Numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
Thank you to DJ Finney.
Work.
Thank you to Dracula the Bus Driving Vampire.
Toot toot.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Oh, boy, does he.
And thank you to David
Knife Boot.
Henson. Thank you.
All right. Let me jump in here. Thank you to
Yeah.
Grumblebee.
Crumble.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to Look Bob at a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Seismic Charge Noise. Thank you to Deborah's Awesome, Barbara's Great, and Cancer Can Go to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcano Coniosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thanks.
Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Rhymes with jizz.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Breezy Ruizy.
Always.
Thank you to Davey Francis for The Revenge.
Thank you.
Thank you to MVB.
Thank you.
You know, it occurs to me that when we have new guests on, first-time guests, they have to sit through a solid 3-minute block of, 4 years of inside jokes. How you doing, Liz?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I mean, I just, the one thing I just want to say is that I was going to maybe apologize for not saying thank you along with you all. But the thing is, these people have done nothing for me personally.
Sure.
I could thank them, but for what? They feel free to do something for me and I will give you thanks. Absolutely.
Yeah, you owe them nothing.
Yeah,
I owe you people nothing. I'm sure you're wonderful, but until Mama gets a little something, no thanks are coming.
Well, they have to do something to earn your words.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like that's only fair.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It is. So listen, the time has come.
There was 11 billion trailers that came out in the last 2 weeks.
Most notably, after, 30 years, we have finally seen the trailer for Avatar, The Way of Water.
Mm-hmm. Avatar, of course, was the motion picture that came out during the Carter administration.
Yep.
It really influenced his environmental policies, I remember.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He referenced it many times in his State of the Union address.
In 1979.
In 1979, yeah. Jimmy Carter actually built the Na'vi houses in Avatar.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. That's right. He got that whole initiative going.
I don't know. It looks fine. I mean, it's James Cameron is James Cameron. He's a maniac. He makes pretty sweet movies. I think Avatar's one of his worst movies, but it's still fine. Like, I don't know. It's
gonna make so much money.
Well, here's my thing. I don't think it's gonna. There's a lot of discussion in the social medias about, people either being like, "Don't bet against Cameron," or like, "Oh, there's no way it's gonna do." It's it's been 13 years since the original. The interest isn't there. It's just gonna flop. And I don't know. I feel like neither side's entirely correct, because I feel like this movie it will obviously do well because it's gonna. I mean, that won't obviously do well, but I feel like it's going to do well because it's going to be a well-made movie, probably. It's James Cameron, and with all of his blockbusters, he really seems to find the pulse of, like, international audiences.
Yes.
So it's going to do huge globally, but, like, I think we need to temper our expectations a bit, right? Because if for no other reason... Well, go ahead, Liz, please.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't mean... I cut you off. You're in the middle of a sentence.
All right, just let me finish this thought real quick, is that... like, blockbuster landscape is way different now than it is in 2009, and just the sheer noise, I think, like, movies didn't used to cross the $1 billion mark several times a year. They do that, like, several movies do that now. So I think, like, Avatar will probably do well, but I don't think it's going to be, like, best movie of all time well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I was going to say is that I think this teaser was actually brilliant, because... Oh, yeah. My personal feeling is that I think Avatar 2 is going to deliver. I'm in that camp. I'm in the don't bet against Cameron camp.
Sure.
But here's the thing. I think they made a big splashy deal about this teaser, but it's a very sedate teaser. It's like it's very dreamy and ethereal, and it's just like, hey, remember those blue people who were cool? Check them out. Now they're in water. Isn't the water stuff cool? Hey, look, little blue people. That's cool. We're going to have a nice time, nice chill time hanging out with the Avatar people, and they're going to be in 3D, and it's going to look rad. You're going to have a good time. So I feel like this is a very nicely even-tempered, hey, remember that Avatar exists teaser trailer. And then, but the notable thing about it is that there's no action in this movie, in this trailer at all. It's nothing but vistas and some small character moments. And I think what they're doing is they're kind of saving that up for the trailer that's going to blow our minds. Like I mean, and I have very high expectations for this movie at this point. Like, I do feel like it does have to blow our minds to some degree for this all to have been worth it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do actually, I don't know. Every once in a while I get stupid like this. I have faith that people won't disappoint me. But I kind of, in this moment right now, I'm actually feeling pretty good about the idea that at the very least, they're going to show shit in this movie that we've never seen before.
Well, so I was pretty excited about this before the trailer. This trailer made me go, oh yeah, Avatar's boring. Like, it reminded me that I found the first film incredibly dull, and that, like, I guess, and I'm probably, this is probably just me, is that one of the biggest observations or takeaways I have is that in terms of, like, the CGI, this really doesn't feel different than the other one. It doesn't look any more advanced after all these years. I don't know what that is. It's just I guess the scenery, the ships, the aliens, it all looks so, like, antiquated, I guess. And so, like, nothing about it made me think, like, wow, this is a new and improved Avatar. It was more of just like, oh yeah, it's Avatar again. That movie that I didn't care for the first time.
I can see that. I do agree with Liz that this is a pretty sweet trailer because it's like...
It's a well-done trailer.
It's very well done. It, like, it's really easing you back into, like, the world of Avatar.
Right.
And being like, oh, right, it is kind of like this dreamy, and really leaning hard on the visuals, which is the only reason that anyone liked that movie, I'm probably going to say.
I'm still... I mean, people have talked about it, which is like, what happened? I feel like we need a documentary about it because it really did. It made all the money in the world, and then everybody just forgot about it almost immediately. And I find that fascinating.
I mean, it's interesting though because I had the luck and privilege to go on one of them vacation things we were talking about before.
Oh, weird.
Several years ago.
Yeah,
to Walt Disney. Yeah, exactly. I abducted my family to Avatar Land. We went to Disney World.
Oh shit!
And everything, all the shit they did with that is incredible. Like,
I've heard, yeah.
And the thing about it that really stands out is even like, you know, it'd been like a year. It'd been years since I'd seen the movie. I had seen it more than once, so I could remember like some basic details. But the point is that like just wandering around Avatar Land, like they really put a lot of work into kind of building out the world and like, you know, and exploring around and like looking at all the details they packed into the place. The thing that really struck me was that like there's a story world here. They do have like enough to theoretically sustain future installments, etc. So I don't know. Like I think this trailer did exactly the job it was designed to do, and in part that was kind of like maybe puncture the balloon of hype around this a little bit and remind us it kind of eases back in and then in theory blow our minds.
Yeah,
that's like the story can't like be. It wasn't that it was necessarily terrible. It was just very, very simple and very familiar story for the first. It's Fern Gully. It's Dances with Wolves. It's a number.
That was the thing, is they were building a world, and they definitely did a lot of world building. But that world, it was kind of like, like I don't know. The weirdest thing to me about, if you guys recall this, Avatar, the original film, recycled sound effects from Jurassic Park. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And that was the weirdest thing in the world, where it's like, you're making the most expensive movie. Can you not afford to get new sounds? Like, your world building, and like, that is clearly the sound of the T-Rex you're using. That's weird to me. That's like weirdly cheap in such a vast world building expensive film. I don't know. That's just an aside. That always boggled my mind.
Yeah, I think story-wise, I think the sequels can only go up, right? Like, from what Liz talked about building out the world, and we have all these new elements. Like, it's... I don't know. I don't know.
Or he just does, like, Titanic. The plot of Titanic.
I would be... If he...
If they're going on a big Na'vi cruise.
Yeah. And they just
that would be an incredible bit.
Yeah.
And that's why he got Kate Winslet back.
Yeah. It's
actually she is actually just playing Rose, but using one of the she's got it. Rose has an avatar now because Rose somehow made it to the future. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I James Cameron has given us quite enough.
Yeah,
and one could argue he should be stopped from filmmaking, considering how many lives he's put in danger. So like, I don't know. Like at this point, it's like, yeah, make all the avatars you want.
Sure.
I guess
He's going
like part
to.
of. Yeah, part of me is like, ooh, what if he made another Aliens or like, I don't know, an original film, another action film with Schwarzenegger. But it's like, ultimately, it's like, you've done plenty for me.
And these are his original films. So
They are. They just don't feel it for some reason.
No,
but you're right.
It's
they
been
are original
been a brand
films.
for a decade. But yeah, it was his original idea, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not an Avatar fan, but it's like I'm a James Cameron fan. This looks fine.
Yeah.
It looks fine. I don't know.
I have nothing to gain or lose from this film.
It's extremely
it is what
fine.
It is. Yeah.
And listen, no matter what it was, after 13 years, like people are going, regardless of what it was, people are going to be like, yeah, all right, I guess that's Avatar too.
Yeah, screw it. We have another trailer. We have more than one trailer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the next one is the trailer for Father of the Bride with, as I wrote, comedy legend Andy Garcia as the father of the bride.
Yes.
That is a choice.
And his wife Gloria Estefan.
Yeah.
I sort of love this trailer.
What's happening here?
Listen, it's Andy Garcia as a cantankerous old codger. His daughter's getting married, so he has to. He's a traditional old guy from the old country, and he's got to come to terms with all these new millennial ideas about marriage and relationships. And Dave, Liz, hijinks ensue.
Yeah, do they though?
I guess it's more like him being Andy Garcia about things.
It really is. It's just Andy Garcia just kind of angry at the world.
Like his daughter's fiance he's like, so do you like sports? No. He's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And it's 90 minutes of that. Yes, I'll watch that.
It's quite possibly what it's like to be Andy Garcia's son-in-law.
I want to know what
that's what it feels
like.
like.
It's the closest I will get to that.
Yeah.
This should be an amusement park attraction. Sorry.
I'm just confused as to that's a. I don't feel like that would be an appealing thing for me or most people, having Andy Garcia judge my every choice. I mean,
yeah, it's like they should make an escape room based on
right.
it.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a theme park for like 10 people, which is an escape room.
Yeah. Escape Andy Garcia's judgment. It's I mean, again, much like Avatar, I have nothing to gain or lose by this one. But it's just like, what an odd thing to make. Like, what a weird film that they've decided to do, which I don't know. It's a choice, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. The interesting thing I found about it was the fact that, unlike in the previous versions of the story, Andy Garcia and Gloria Estefan are separated, and that appeared. And I'm sure like part of the plot is, them getting back together by the end, but or coming to some sort of happy resolution. But I don't know. It was like. It's an extra bit of conflict to add into a story where thinking about like the Steve Martin, Diane Keaton one, like it's, there is conflict, but it's all really centered about just, daddy's losing his little girl. And it's actually kind of sweet how that they don't really try to overcomplicate it in that respect. Like it's, it's not like he doesn't have to deal with a crisis at the shoe factory or whatever. And thumbs up to my memory for remembering that he owns a shoe company. It's just like,
that was a great pull.
Yeah. I remembered it because he makes her the little custom sneakers.
That's right.
With the males on them, which is so cute.
Yeah.
I would want those for my wedding.
So they can shoot hoops.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, just the drama of trying to have a wedding is, I guess, enough for a movie to really sustain, that runtime. So that's cool. Anyways, I have no strong feeling about this trailer. I actually hadn't seen it until you guys put it on this list because I just hadn't cared that much. Right. But it was, it was totally charming, and Godspeed to everyone involved. And maybe I'll watch it one day on cable. Yeah, or not cable, on HBO Max.
HBO Max.
The new cable.
All right. Well, I think we're giving this one a hard maybe. Should we move on?
Look at Andy Garcia.
I mean, I can look at Andy Garcia for a pretty long time. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, let's move right along.
Yeah.
Now, because again, we still have plenty of trailers ahead of us.
So many trailers.
The next one is the Aviary, which I'm now realizing is already out, and is not doing well.
You fool.
It has 4.1 out of 10 stars on IMDb.
That's not a great review. We can skip it if you like.
I mean, it's a cool premise, which is why I included it. Which is just like two ladies in the desert escaping a cult, clearly like still affected by, I don't know, the mind control aspect.
The brainwashing,
yeah.
The cult programming.
It seems like a cool idea, but I'd rather read this one IMDb review about someone who said that they walked out of the movie or shut off the movie with 15 minutes left on the movie. And that is, to me, one of the worst things that could happen. When you have 15 more minutes of a movie and you're like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just one person.
That is, in fact, the harshest thing I could possibly imagine. Yeah, I've had a screener for this movie, and fingers crossed no PR people are listening to this. I requested the screener because I read the press release, and it was like, Chris Messina as a cult leader, you have my attention.
Right.
And because I love Chris Messina, and I actually love a lot of the other cast members. But that trailer just completely was like, it did not make me want to see the movie.
Yeah, I will say it's getting better critic reviews. I'm still curious about it for sure, but I think it's a very slow movie is what I'm getting from this. Like that tends to happen when like audiences don't like it as much as critics or something like that. But it's still like, I really like the premise. Yeah,
it's a cool idea. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it, but
trailer didn't do it any favors.
No.
But
Chris Messina in a cool little paper mask.
Yeah, that's something, right? It's definitely something. Speaking of things that might be something, trailer for House of the Dragon.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Sure. I don't know. Like, I haven't gone back and revisited Game of Thrones yet. I will at some point. I don't know if I'm ready for a prequel. Like, Game of Thrones feels like the wrong property for a prequel to me. Is that off base for anyone else? Like, it's not like it's because it's not the world that we liked being in. It was this specific story of the show that got everybody's attention. People weren't like, "Oh, I wish I could be in Westeros," because Westeros fucking sucks.
Yeah,
like that whole universe is crap.
I think this happens with a lot of epics and fantasy. I mean, it's why like The Hobbit and all that, where it's like Game of Thrones was supposed to be like the biggest event that happens in this world,
right?
And this was just like backstory. And of course, after how Game of Thrones ended, like I'm giving this a hard no personally. I think everybody's gonna have their own limit, but for me, I just am like, nah. You fucked up the other show. I'm not gonna do this. I got other things to watch, I guess. But I don't know. I think everybody's gonna have their own line they draw.
Yeah.
Anybody who watched the original.
Yeah, God. Tom, I was just remembering how when at Collider, I got the idea in my head to do a 10-week long anniversary tribute to Game of Thrones, and it was the 10th anniversary of the first season premiering, and we had this big epic.
Did I write anything for you for that?
You did not, but it was because I brought it up because I was very gentle in nudging about I was gentle in my nudging about pitches for it. One overriding theme of it was I just can't go back there, man. I can't go back. What were you gonna say?
I think I did. I wrote some blurbs or something about
maybe the bullshit plot.
The prophecy. It was for the plot lines that they didn't resolve.
That's right. We did just one that was a tribute to all the plot lines that never got resolved. Right. It went great. There was no shortage of things on that list.
Yeah.
It was a long list. I did enjoy Vinny's ranking of the mountains according to their mountainousness.
Yes, that was good. I got to have a delightful conversation with Suryo Farrell.
That's right, you did. That was really cool.
Yeah, he was really nice. He talked to me about how he teaches sword fighting at conventions. But the thing I was going to just say about House of the Dragon, beyond just remembering how no one really wants to talk about Game of Thrones anymore, it seems, is that Matt Smith is in that trailer and doesn't say words, and I just am very concerned by any situation where you have Matt Smith in your trailer and you don't let him say things. I'm looking at you, Morbius.
I think the Terminator movie.
Oh, yeah, the Terminator movie also showed him but didn't let him say words.
A track record of being in trailers that don't let him speak, and then the end result is a big old piece of shit.
Yeah. So hopefully this isn't a portent for the future. Hopefully Matt Smith is in something good, because Matt Smith deserves. He's lovely.
That's true. He does deserve it. It's just, even if people watch this and they tell me like, oh, it's really good, so was Game of Thrones until it wasn't. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I just don't think there's any condition that it'll have to completely, the series will have to complete before I start watching it, I think.
I'll absolutely, at the very least, watch the first episode just to see what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
But the other thing is, like you said, like, the world isn't really that inviting.
Mm-mm.
And so it's like they're really pushing like
to be in.
Yeah, it's like the Avatar trailer where they're like, come back into this world, and it's like,
yeah, okay,
no,
probably.
It's
nice there at least.
You're right. With Game of Thrones, it's like I don't really want to, and like I've already been burned on the last series, so it's like it just seems like the same thing again. Everybody's very serious. There's gonna be like a lot of betrayal and murder and shit. And it's just I'm tapped out for that. Like, I don't know. If
yeah,
they'd gone with,
so good.
No, I was just gonna say if they went with a different tone for this, that would have been interesting to me. But
that's a good idea.
That is actually you actually touched on something I was going to say, which is that I feel like that's really like similar to how one of the reasons why Better Call Saul is such a great example of a prequel is because it has genuinely worked to find its own tone. And you watch an episode of Better Call Saul and you watch an episode of Breaking Bad, and despite like them taking place in the same world and having a certain feel to them, you know, they do still feel like very separate shows. And I mean, the thing that honestly, the thing that kind of annoys me about House of the Dragon is that the previous Game of Thrones spinoff that made it to production, like, got to the pilot stage, and rather than reshooting it or retooling it, they just threw it in the trash, and they were like,
right.
It's the Naomi Watts one, right?
Yes, it was the Naomi Watts one with a female director and a female showrunner, and they just threw it away, and then gave a straight-to-series order for House of the Dragon. Like, House of the Dragon didn't have to go through the pilot phase, and the previous one did, and it's just... It is vexing. It is an annoying little thing. And I'm not saying mentioning the genders involved probably isn't necessarily fair to HBO, which has to just go by the quality of the product, but still it sucks.
Yeah, it also heavily implies that they just have no idea what they're doing. That they were like, we just want to make more. We don't care what. And they were willing to completely throw something out during production.
Well, they definitely felt like
move on.
Like, definitely this was, like, when AT&T still owned them, and they were like,
it was like 4 or something that they tried out, wasn't it?
There were, like, 4 projects that they, like, basically kind of put into... There were 4 projects they put into development that that was working with different writers. There were 2 different projects that were headed up by female showrunners, working alongside George R.R. Martin. And then I think House of Dragon wasn't one of them. It just kind of, like, you know, shot out of nowhere into the race. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird franchise. It's gonna be. I hope that they try some new and different stuff with it. I hope they find their own tone. Like, but I feel like the thing is when HBO was still owned by AT&T, there was such a huge drive to, like, you know, bigger, more expansive content, and this feels like it was kind of like well, we have to do something with Game of Thrones. We can't not have a spin-off at this point. This seems fine. Let's do it. And, hopefully it won't. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Listen,
we'll see.
I hear there's going to be upwards of 16 dragons in it. So that's
something. Yeah.
I can't remember how
More
many.
dragons.
Well, and in that case, they're going to have to rename it because it's only House of the Dragon singular.
Maybe there's many houses and it's just this one.
Right. This is one of the houses of one of the dragons.
It's just one of their houses. One of their many properties of the dragon.
Yeah.
And then you can do selling House of the Dragon and do the reality TV spinoff.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
House
they don't
Flip
understand.
Of the dragon.
House Flip of the Dragon. There it is.
They don't understand why people like the dragons, did they? Because the dragons in the original series, it was like, oh shit, it's gonna happen. Like they were building up this idea of like, she's got these 3 dragons. They're gonna throw down. We don't care about dragons. Like more dragons doesn't mean better. You know what I mean? Like
right, it was the fact that it was a world in which fantasy had disappeared, and then the dragons were like, it's slowly coming back. It's like,
right.
Oh shit, dragons are coming.
Yeah, and this it's like have all the dragons you want, and it's like we've seen plenty of dragons. Like they're not exciting.
I mean, they're exciting when bald Matthew McConaughey is flying at them.
Of course. Of course. That's all I have to say about this. Can we talk about this next extremely delightful trailer?
Guess.
All right.
What is it?
Because this next trailer is for Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, with Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al.
Just singing like a surgeon.
Yeah. I want to note that I looked at the cast. This also has Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna, Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento, and then someone I've never heard of, James Preston Rogers, playing Hulk Hogan. And so,
that's one. That's a new one.
Greatest movie?
I think I need this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The thing that's really important for me for me to tell as many people as possible, because I feel really guilty about this. I essentially I saw this trailer when it came out, and my first thought was, oh, I think Funny or Die did something like that before, and I found the Funny or Die trailer, and I shared it with a coworker, and I was like, hey, here's the Funny or Die version that they did like 10 years ago, and he tweeted about it like, oh my god, they're just ripping off this old trailer, and then we dug in just slightly more to it, and the original writer of the Funny or Die short is the co-writer on the new film with Weird Al Yankovic, and it's all a very kosher across the board thing. And apparently they even tried to get their original Weird Al from the original trailer, who was Aaron Paul. But unfortunately he was not available, I guess. So they settled on Daniel Radcliffe.
For Daniel Radcliffe.
He's also the director. He also has directed a lot of like Son of Zorn. He did Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Silicon Valley. Like I think he's like a TV comedy director.
That's great. No, I'm glad people from. I'm always really happy when people from Funny or Die graduate to bigger and better things.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is. I don't know what to say about this except it looks like a lot of fun. It was co-written, by Weird Al as well. I have no idea what it's going to be about. It's listed as biography. Yeah. I doubt that.
Well, I think like it feels like it could, I guess, build upon the foundation of Walk Hard and give us like a new way of parodying biopics, which is in this case with the express involvement of a real artist.
Yeah, and this is actually the most Weird Al thing to do with a biopic.
Yeah,
like if anybody should do a biopic parody, it's Weird Al.
Yeah,
it's actually, even like everything about the trailer and stuff. They make it look like a serious biopic at first, and that's delightful.
I am so ashamed of myself for not putting that together.
Oh yeah,
that of course Weird Al would do a parody of biopics.
Yeah,
like,
it reminds me a little bit of a futile and stupid gesture.
What is that?
That's the biopic of Doug Kenny from National Lampoon.
That's right. Yeah, which is I've heard it's a mess, but I always was vaguely intrigued to check it out.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a mess. It's a David Wayne movie, so.
Ooh.
Oh, I like David Wayne.
Yeah,
me too.
Why did it?
I don't know. It's some of it works and some of it doesn't work. It's very self-aware, but it is this. It's like a parody biopic. It's pretty interesting, and I got a little bit of that vibe from this.
Yeah,
so.
this. I would say the vibe that you're describing is like 80s, 90s comedy, like Naked Gun style almost, or like it's kind of fun to see it. It's like a nostalgic form of like kind of slapsticky parody comedy that we don't really get that much. And so like that was the impression I got from this trailer.
Yeah.
And that's very exciting to me. It's very much Weird Al's
of
style
course,
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Me too. Also, I guess I'm into this trailer for Zero Contact, starring Anthony Hopkins, clearly in his home during the pandemic.
Yes. I wonder how many of these we're going to get now that how many of these will be released within the next year or two.
Funny you should ask, Tom. I looked up this director. They are making 3 Zero Contact films. I know you were asking, like, Zoom films, but this is the first of a trilogy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. It's Anthony Hopkins and then a bunch of affordable actors.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to. Is like how many Zoom movies with like one really big star and then a bunch of the director's friends is going to come out in the next year.
It really feels like it was like, listen, we're going to give you $1 million and you're going to sit here for like 3 hours and record these lines and then we're done. This director also produced stuff like these kind of straight to streaming stuff with Ben Kingsley. So he knows how to do this. He knows
Kingsley's going to be in one of these then, if he's not already.
Yeah,
if he's not
probably.
secretly in this one.
Yeah. This is about... What is this about?
I don't know. It looks like kind of like... So Anthony Hopkins is like this wealthy dude who dies but leaves this complicated riddle for a bunch of people he's picked around the world that are supposed to crack it in order to solve some sort of global threat. And also there's like ghosts and time travel involved. It looks...
Hell yeah.
You said in the doc it looks like Unfriended Dark Web starring Anthony Hopkins, and that's 100% what it looks like.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. I'm in.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it makes me nostalgic not nostalgic, more like sad, just sad for the fact that they never got a Global Frequency adaptation off the ground. Even though they managed to cast the perfect person to play the main character of Global Frequency. I don't know if you guys, that's a comic book. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it at all.
No, I've never read it.
It was written by Warren Ellis. It's just a really interesting... The concept is there are like hundreds of people around the world who all have specialized skills, and so if there's like a global crisis, all of them have cell phones where you can call them up and be like, hey, we need to use your ability to speak Farsi fluently to help this other guy like to unlock a safe, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's a pretty sweet idea,
okay.
actually.
Yeah, it's a great high concept premise, and the comics are very enjoyable. But they like tried a couple of times to make a actual TV show out of it and failed. But that's what this reminded me of, and unfortunately, it did not. And it made me nostalgic for the terrible WB pilot I once saw of Global Frequency, and that's not good. You don't want to make me nostalgic for the terrible WB pilot of Global Frequency.
Oh, this looks like a piece of shit I watched once.
Yeah.
I do.
But remember how good that piece of shit was?
I am excited at the notion of watching Anthony Hopkins in a shoestring budget found footage jump scare movie. What a treat!
Yes.
I will 1000% watch this movie if someone tells me that at one point one of his cats wanders into frame and he just cuddles it. Theoretically, if you have that in your movie, you put it in the fucking trailer. But,
yeah, of course. That's a trailer shot.
I definitely want Anthony Hopkins to go rogue while they were shooting this, and they just have to use what they get.
Right, because you can ask him to do it again.
Yeah.
He might not do it because he's filming at his house.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
No, you're going to get what you're going to get.
I'm rooting for this film.
Yeah, hell yeah. I can't wait for the trilogy. Can't wait for the trilogy box set with Anthony Hopkins' face on the front.
He's how long do you think he's actually in the movie for? What's your guesstimate here?
9 minutes.
Yep. I was gonna say over 5, but under 10.
Yeah, less than 10.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, let's talk about this next trailer then, called "I'm Charlie Walker."
Oh yeah.
This has got
Mike Coulter.
What's his name? Mike Coulter, and then Dylan Baker playing the very, very white guy.
Oh yeah.
And this is I assume based off a true story.
I don't know.
About let me look. Yeah, no, it says true story.
Okay, dope.
It takes place in the 1970s in San Francisco. It's a black man who is in charge of a company that is cleaning up an oil spill, and it's about, people aren't used to seeing a black man in charge of something, and it's kind of about this guy, at least from the trailer, who has to really push to get the success he wants. And I don't know, I like the look of it. I like the story.
Mm-hmm. It looks interesting. I want to share that I Googled Charlie Walker San Francisco just now. And the first link is, it sounds like the true story is pretty fascinating. But the first story is an SF Gates story. And just the pull quote at the top at the top of it is, in 1984, a San Francisco Superior Court jury convicted Walker of perjury and tax evasion for shaking down white contractors who were forced to ... And
perfect.
Yeah, never meet your heroes. Yeah, even Mike Coulter.
Something tells me that is included in this, because they definitely hint at crime.
Yeah.
Right? With this.
That he's doing a little bit of crime as he is cleaning up this oil spill from the bay.
Yeah.
It's got like a Soderbergh vibe to it.
It does. Yeah. And let me just say, the mustache they slapped on him, that's all I needed, really.
Hamina.
Yeah. He looks fucking great.
Yeah, he looks incredible.
I want him in more stuff, and I know he is in stuff. But I really want to see more movies with Mike Coulter. I really enjoyed Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't seen him in a movie that I can recall.
Well,
that was good.
That's because he's been starring on the hit CBS, now Paramount Plus drama Evil.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom loves Evil.
Right. He
I haven't watched it yet.
He plays a hot priest. That's what I know.
Evil. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. That's all we can add. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
It's Mike Coulter as hot blank is basically what.
I'm glad he's doing stuff. I just,
Yeah.
I really want to see him in more movies. So this is, I don't know, kind of a delight.
Yeah, it's produced by Shout Factory too, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
It's normally they're a distributor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting in the game.
Yeah, get some skin in the game now.
Yeah. The director hasn't really done much. They did a movie called Olive, which I have no idea what it is.
I got nothing.
No. Yeah, this person. I am also looking at their IMDb, and they seem to be a complete mystery.
Yeah, I don't know. They're coming out of nowhere, but this looks interesting. I would highly suggest people check out the trailer. This is one of those trailers that I think would pass people by easily. So the
trailer's really cool, though. It's got a lot of style to it.
Yeah, like you said, Soderbergh.
Very
really
Soderbergh,
comes to mind.
Yeah.
Well, this next trailer, which people also might want to catch because it's not being advertised much. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. It really isn't being advertised. It's coming out this month.
I know. They sort of dropped the trailer and then moved on. I guess it's Disney, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't hate that they're not shoving it in my face. People will find the Obi-Wan Kenobi
they will
series.
find their way to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I am people. I will watch the shit out of this show.
Yeah.
I love everything about it. I don't care.
Yeah. Joel Edgerton's back. Who can't be mad at, who can be mad at that?
A de-aged Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, that's pretty damn exciting.
And Bonnie from that cult escaped and came back to the show and gets to be on the show.
Yeah. And then did I see Camille in this?
Oh yeah, Kumail Nanjiani does have a role in it, I think.
Kumail Nanjiani, he shows up for 1 second.
I missed him,
in this trailer.
Yeah, I meant to find it because I also missed it. Let me ask you guys the question I posed on Twitter earlier today.
Okay.
After thinking, because I was there was like a release of like photos of a press event they did in London for the show, and so there were it was like Hayden Christensen alongside Ewan McGregor and the director, and it was like in a way where it was like, oh, are they setting up Hayden Christensen to be like a pretty big part of the show, or is this kind of another bait and switch like we've seen hundreds of times before? So let me ask you guys, how many episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi do you think Hayden Christensen will actually appear in?
I can't answer this because I'm on the IMDb and it says it.
I don't trust that. Trust me.
Don't trust that. They will,
okay.
Before it comes out, they will frequently list them as in all 8.
Okay,
exactly.
Because there's other characters that aren't listed for all 6.
Mm.
So,
it's a mess. You can't really, with IMDb, you can't really trust anything until after it premieres.
Here's my hope. My hope is 1. Because I don't care that much. Much like Avatar, it doesn't matter to me really. But it does seem like it kind of misses the point of the other films if they're like interacting.
They probably
all the time.
They probably shouldn't interact directly.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
Period. And they try to imply in this trailer that they will, and I hope they won't. And I hope like maybe one episode, maybe he pops up every now and then to like point his finger at someone and tell them to do something. Mm-hmm. But I really don't want him in it that much.
That's kind of, I feel like he's probably going to be in 4. I'll say he'll be in 4 episodes because I feel like just based on what I know about what the extended universe was before Disney bought it, like during this time period, Vader is hunting down the Jedi through the rest of the galaxy, and he's using cronies to a degree to help him do it. So I feel like that's going to be kind of his role in the show. And they make it seem to be as much like he's clearly pulling the strings for the primary villains that we see. So we'll probably see him like Dave was saying, like there'll be scenes where he's like giving orders and stuff, and maybe a couple of narrow misses. But I would be very surprised if he and Obi-Wan actually meet, because they're not supposed to, according to the storyline of the films.
That's a tough one to retcon, is whether or not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Because I mean, if Vader fucking finds Obi-Wan on Tatooine, he's gonna be like, all right, where'd you put Luke? I know he's here.
Right. I don't feel like they care, you know?
They might not. I don't know.
And that's the thing. Like, didn't they? I haven't watched Boba Fett, and I don't know. I have nothing against it, but I didn't care. Didn't they bring in an all CGI Luke Skywalker without even having Mark Hamill do the voice?
I think Mark Hamill was at least on set for that, but yeah, there was a pretty bad deep fake Luke, young Luke.
Why do that? Because
it's to make me personally feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because the point of, for example, bringing on like, you know, you make it a comic book movie and you bring on like other people don't expect, no spoilers for anything, but like that stunt casting, the reveal, the cheer moments, the point of that is it's the actor, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, it's them. But if you don't use the actor, then it's like, and they did this before with Carrie Fisher as well, where it's like, yeah, no, I could make a CGI Carrie Fisher. What excites people is seeing the actor.
I think it depends. So like,
I think it depends, but it shouldn't. I don't think it actually. I think that should be the point. Is like, I get where there's certain characters that are like, you know, if they're kind of already covered in makeup or something like that. But like for me, it's like the point is the actor.
To a degree, I think Luke Skywalker is a character, like, even though obviously everybody loves Mark Hamill and he is inextricably tied with that character, I think Luke Skywalker is a character that transcends the actor almost.
Really?
For me, I feel like it was more, what was the holy shit moment of Luke Skywalker showing up in the end of Mando season 2 was the fact that it was Luke Skywalker, the character, entering this story more so than Mark Hamill playing him. Because if you're like a Star Wars nerd thinking about the timeline, thinking about the storyline, you're like, well, Luke's not going to show up, and then he fucking does.
Right,
and just,
right.
You're like, oh, shit!
You know what's so weird is that, I mean, maybe it's just the amount of time we spend, the amount of time of screen time, but his appearance at the end of Mando is mind blowing. I was just like so excited about the possibilities of it. But for some reason, his episode of Boba Fett really threw it. I don't mean this as a pejorative. I mean this in the sense that I didn't interpret it as canon. It felt like fan fiction. Like it didn't feel like a real part of the story. Yeah, and I think it's just because there was a lot of screen time with him. It's like, hey, at this point, just commit to casting a young Luke. Don't do the deep fake. Just hire whatever Skarsgård's not currently doing something right now.
Have a few Skarsgårds, tape them together.
Yeah, put them in a trench coat.
Yeah, but it especially after Mandalorian, it's like it's kind of like you did it already too. Yeah. So again, having not seen the second Luke, but that's when I heard of it, I was like, well, you did that already. So he's just a regular character now? That's weird to me. I don't know. We were talking about Vader in this, and it's I don't know. It seems like the plot is going to be Obi-Wan keeps getting hunted down, right? And has to evade.
He's evading Vader's hunters. Yeah,
it's the fugitive.
Yeah, basically.
He should shave his beard. And I don't know. That sounds fun.
Go to work at Julianne Moore's space hospital.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. Yeah, it does seem like a lot of fun, but it does. I think we've said this. It has high potential to fuck up the canon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we can hold a few things still as sacred, and one of them, of course, being, Star Wars: A New Hope. But we'll see.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah. In like 2 weeks, I think. It is really soon. You're right.
It's really soon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's because we're halfway through May, because that's not fun.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Speaking of sci-fi events that everybody is excited about.
Of course.
Hyped for days.
This next trailer is Monsters of California. Tom, you want to do
Folks, this is the directorial debut of Tom DeLonge. Blink-182's Tom DeLonge.
Starring Casper Van Dien.
Yeah, it looks like shitty teen E.T. basically is what it looks like. It looks like teenage E.T. as written by Tom DeLonge.
Sorry, Tom. From the imagination of Tom DeLonge is what the trailer says, which is the funniest fucking phrase I've ever heard in my life.
It sure is.
That's
Dave.
Incredible.
But let me tell you something else. If you haven't had your ear to the ground on all things Tom DeLonge for the past 10 years, he's been cranking out books and comic books and like concept albums. He's got another an earlier movie that's about an astronaut.
Does the astronaut meet aliens?
It does. Yeah. He does. His imagination is preoccupied with one very specific thing, and it is aliens. If you remember, one of the emails in Hillary Clinton's email dump was an email between her team and Tom DeLonge talking about aliens.
Good God.
Yep.
That's a real thing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. Tom DeLonge is Fox Mulder.
He is 100,000% Fox Mulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got his number.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I'll see this.
Of course I'm going to watch this.
I can't tell you if it's good or not.
It doesn't look great, but like, how can I not watch it?
It looks like it was shot like on like a fucking high-8 camera. Like it looks like a home video that has Casper Van Dien in it.
It was probably shot in and around his backyard. Yeah. I mean,
it really looks that way.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, I confess, you guys, I watched every other trailer on this, but I clicked play on this thing twice, and each time my body just rejected it. And I was just like, no, I refuse to process these images that are moving across my screen. No, just hard pass.
Violently.
I also
rejecting these.
I need to point out.
I cast thee out.
I need to point out it's not just from the imagination of Tom DeLonge. When you click on it's 16 seconds of the trailer, that phrase is given to you as a logo.
Yeah.
Like, is that his production company?
To the Stars is.
Okay, because it's the O in Tom is the moon, and there's a little Tom DeLonge jumping in front of the moon.
Let me tell you, it's a little character he created for a series of young adult novels he's written.
Oh my god!
That also ties into a concept album. Dave, you see, I gotta brief you on all things Tom DeLonge.
He's got his own little fucking world going on. Here. That's
This is what he's been doing since he's not been in Blink-182.
Yeah, he's been creating this very like low stakes brand. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Can I just please share that according to IMDb, he is credited for recent work as Thomas DeLonge, which is just maybe he's being taken. Maybe he's trying to be taken more seriously now. Anyways,
happen. That happens to me 50% of the time. People will put my credits in as Thomas. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
These things happen. But yeah, everybody seek this out, I guess. We didn't even talk about what it's about. It's about a teenager who sees a series of mysterious paranormal things happen in Southern California. That's its IMDb synopsis.
It's Teen E.T.
It's aliens.
It's a bunch of shitty teens doing an E.T. and Casper Van Dien is the Peter Coyote character.
Yep. It's fucking weird.
Incredible. I cannot wait to watch this movie.
I know you can't, buddy.
Wasn't there something where Casper Van Dien was like some sort of, he'd married like a duchess or something?
I don't know.
That sounds like something he'd do.
He does have the word Van in his name, so like marrying a duchess, inheriting a duchy seems like something.
No,
he
was married. They're no longer together, but he was married to Catherine Oxenberg, who, she might have been. Catherine Oxenberg, who was the mother was featured in the documentary "Seduced Inside the Nexum Cult." She's the mother of the girl that they're trying to get out in that particular miniseries. Oh my goodness! It all comes back to cults.
Yeah, we're really on a journey here.
Is Casper Van Dien a character in that?
I don't. They divorced in 2015, so I think timeline-wise it wouldn't overlap. But
dang,
I know that's what that story needed was one more sea-level star to enter the picture.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
One more reliable lantern-jawed direct-to-video performer.
This next trailer we talked about, but we're getting the full trailer for now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Crimes of the Future by David Cronenberg. We now have dialogue, and every piece of dialogue feels like a parody of
horrible
a Cronenberg
dialogue.
film.
Just the most uncomfortable, haunting dialogue.
Surgery is the new sex is the most
sex.
Cronenberg line ever said.
Because it's basically Videodrome.
Yeah,
but
they say something about a roadmap into the darkness or something.
I think Lee Sadu literally unzips a man's guts and starts making out with it.
Oh my god,
Cronenberg in it.
It's too Cronenberg. It is the most Cronenberg.
It's at
film.
maximum Cronenberg.
It really is.
God, this is one of those things where I'm so grateful to be in a position where if I don't want to watch something, I can pay someone else and they will watch it and they will review it, and I never have to see it myself.
I'm so
I
excited.
mean, I might try to see it. Like, I'll see what the reviews are like. I'll go see like weird movies like this if I am told very, very bluntly how very, very good it is.
Mm-hmm. It really does look like they took every Cronenberg film and they smashed them together.
Cronenberg, I think we sort of touched on this when we did Dead Ringers. But his movies, when you go to see his movies, I think, you know how they used to like hand you like lobby cards and stuff? I think when you go to see a Cronenberg film, they should hand each person the IMDb Parents Guide so you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not specifics, but like, okay, here's the wildest shit that's going to be in the movie.
Right.
And here's when it happens, and here's what it entails.
So I didn't know this. This is the second movie by David Cronenberg called Crimes of the Future.
That's right. I remember that.
That's weird. He made one
but
in
they're not
it's
not a remake.
No.
It's a completely separate thing. I guess he just likes that title.
It's a pretty sweet title.
Yeah, it's not a bad title.
Ominous.
It's very ominous.
Got a lot of mystery to it.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to look I think the plot of the original, which is actually a short, it's 1 hour, is like someone like solving crimes of the future, I think. And this one feels more like people committing crimes of the future. Mm-hmm. I think that's the distinction. Body crimes, where Viggo Mortensen has a new organ. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's like it's an organ chair.
Yeah.
And he's also dressed like a fucking evil sorcerer from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
with his cloak. Man. Holy shit.
That's something David Cronenberg needs to make, is a Mortal Kombat film. I'll take that any day of the week. And again, I said it before, I'm so happy for Kristen Stewart, who is a weirdo, who gets to be in a Cronenberg film, which I suspect she's wanted since she was a child. I don't know that for sure, but she's such a weirdo.
Yeah, and she's also a very cinema savvy actress. Like, I remember actually reading an interview with her, and Mike Ryan was talking to her, and they got into talking about classic film and just in general what she was watching. And she made a big point of saying, like, have you seen Saint Maud? Saint Maud is so good. She was like watching Saint Maud during breaks on set while making Spencer. Jesus. And now she is signed up to do the next film by that same director. She liked the movie, and I guess I would not be shocked if she basically hunted down that director, was like, I want to work with you on whatever you want to do next.
Sounded like she manifested that.
Yeah. Way to go, Kristen Stewart. Because agreed. Like, I'm very happy for both her and Robert Pattinson. Like, they're getting paid, they're getting Oscar noms, they're playing whatever the hell they want and however the hell they want to do it.
They both get to be weird little freaks in all their movies now.
They love it. Cronenberg, I want to share some quotes. Cronenberg says he expects walkouts in the first 5 minutes of the film. And he says, and that's a very special thing. He also says some people who have seen the film have said they think the last 20 minutes will be very hard on people, and that there'll be a lot of walkouts. Quote, some guy said he almost had a panic attack.
I like that.
So
Cronenberg, it sounds like people at a Gwar concert. Like, it's like you could put them side by side and be like, which one's the Gwar concert, which one's the Cronenberg film?
Right. You know who should make a Gwar film? David Cronenberg.
He should make a Mortal Kombat film starring Gwar.
Yes.
And
hell
Viggo.
Yes.
Obviously,
yeah. Oh
Viggo.
my god. Yeah, this film is just full of fucking weirdos. I can't fucking wait. This bleak
Throw a
ass
surprise
film.
Jeremy Irons in there. Just fuck me right up.
Can you imagine? He's like Thanos. They like reveal him.
He's their Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Of the DCU, the David Cronenberg universe.
We got to have more of these. I want at least 6 more Crimes of the Future. Holy shit.
What a
all
gift.
Right. Well, we're really in it now, because the next trailer is for Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh,
this
boy.
I've been waiting for this one patiently for a while.
Hyped.
Mm-hmm.
Hype.
This is Olivia Wilde's film with a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah, bunch of
fucking people fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's about a utopian experimental community, which, let me tell you, doesn't seem so utopian.
Yeah, very.
What?
Yeah. That's the only bummer. I mean, this looks really cool, and all the stuff in it, the mood looks nice and creepy, and there's some nice surreal stuff in this trailer. I think the problem with a lot of these like false utopias is we kind of know the game. So like every trailer invariably every trailer I see for something about like utopia is not what it seems. I immediately I'm just like, oh, this is Stepford Wives, because it is.
It definitely has those vibes.
But like, what do you do about that? I don't know.
I really like Olivia Wilde. I really liked Booksmart.
Mm-hmm.
I want to point out that this is from the writer of Booksmart and the writers of Chernobyl Diaries, Titanic 2, Paranormal Entity, Transmorphers, Fall of Man. So
got some asylum people in there. All right.
Yeah, it's it's a combination of and The Silence, the one with Tucci.
The bats.
Yeah,
bats versus
the
Tucci.
one that what's it called? Don't Breathe kind of ripped off the original story, but that's a weird combo. That I assume it's because. I don't know what. I assume the Booksmart writer came because it's Olivia Wilde, and maybe it was a script that already existed.
Must have been.
And they did a pass or something. Yeah. I don't know.
That would check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely got that Jordan Peele vibe. They're definitely pushing that in the trailer, I think.
Yeah.
Not that it's going to be the same, but I think the trailer wants us to feel like it's the same.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It looks good. We got Harry Styles in there. I don't know. We've decided he needs to be in movies. That's fine. Florence Pugh's in it, obviously. She's great.
She's great. Olivia Wilde's in it. Nick Kroll's in it.
Nick Kroll, yeah. I had to... It was funny. I stopped and backed it up because like, is that Nick Kroll? And then like, if I had just waited like 30 seconds later in the trailer, they very clearly show you, yes, it is Nick Kroll.
Yeah, it is indeed.
And fucking Chris Pine. Chris Pine playing a sinister host of the Utopia Suburbia. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is.
One of the most underrated things is weird Chris Pine. He doesn't get it enough. But like him and like, Smoking Aces, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him in something that's possibly weird.
I like that Chris Pine has steadily emerged as the best Chris.
Oh yeah. He's like low key the best Chris.
Yeah, not that he doesn't have decent competition from, Hemsworth and Evans. But he's like the best Chris. Everybody slept on Chris Pine, I feel like. Sorry, Liz.
I was just gonna say I fully agree with you. Like, I mean, he's evolved nicely. I think he's kind of grown up in a really pleasant way.
Mm-hmm.
I was also gonna stick up for Harry Styles a bit. Like, I'm trying to remember what he did on SNL that made me go, okay, this kid's all right. But he did something on SNL at one point when he was hosting where I was like, yeah, that kid's all right. So I feel good about Harry Styles and his choices, and I'm very happy he's like getting this opportunity, and hopefully he can actually act.
Hopefully.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I got nothing against the guy.
Yeah.
He seems fine in this trailer.
He does.
Hopefully he can hold his own against like an Oscar nom Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Florence Pugh will, when she wants to, can just eat anyone alive. But,
Oh, absolutely. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
She can unhinge her jaw. Yeah,
just with a knife and fork.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Very slow.
She's a lady. She's a lady.
Takes her time. You're on her schedule when you're being eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Actual cannibal Florence Pugh.
I do share your concern about this film, Tom, which is that it's one of those plots that's like, yeah, we have seen it a lot.
We kind of know the game, yeah.
But I'm really curious about the ride. I hope they do something. It's one of those where it's like you're always waiting for the twist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it going to be? And I don't know. I hope it's something interesting.
That's not to say that you can't do interesting things with this premise and this. So all the people involved definitely make me want to watch it for sure.
Yeah, and again, like Olivia Wilde, she's done. This is her second feature, I believe. Right? She's done some shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I really liked Booksmart, so I'm just excited about this directing career.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope it keeps going. But if she has time, of course, I would also like a Tron Legacy sequel, which, I mean, we're due.
We're super due, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the gap between the first film and Tron Legacy? I think we should just wait as that exact period of time.
That's true, like 30 years. That's okay. We'll just haul out, Jeff Bridges' skeleton.
They have that technology already set up.
Oh, he exists forever on some hard drives now.
Yeah,
we got Jeff Bridges for centuries now.
In some of the worst quality CGI.
Oh, it looks weird. He looks real waxy.
He does.
He looks very shiny.
Yep. Speaking of terrifying looking things, we have one last trailer here. This dropped today. This is the Netflix Resident Evil series, which they just did a movie.
Completely unrelated to the movie that just came out.
Well, this is live action, and the movie was anime, I believe. Or am I wrong? Or they also did. They also did a live action movie. Yeah. What are these lunatics thinking?
There was a live action movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, that came a few months ago, and then I think last year Netflix had an animated Resident Evil series that was like a 4-episode series or something.
That is hot nonsense.
I know, it's weird. They were, their PR people were very aggressive about trying to get me to watch that cartoon too. It was wild.
The thing is that, and I don't know why. I never really played the game. I'll take every adaptation. I'll take them all.
The game is just pretty much like it's an adventure game, but it's tonally and in its story, it's just an homage to B horror movies. So it's like, you can't really adapt it poorly, is my point.
Yeah, I am curious about, I've always wondered, Village and the one before it, how I know if you play the games, it makes sense, but I've only played the early games and I've seen pieces of those games and it's like, how did we get here? And I would love to see someone adapt those into a movie. Because I feel like way different tone, right?
You're talking about 7 and 8? Or
7 and 8, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
Because they do seem like completely different games from what I've seen. But yeah,
it's interesting.
I don't know. We've seen so many versions of Raccoon City, and they're all different. And I don't know how they managed to do that. The Jovovich ones, it's like Chicago. It's like a city.
Right.
That new one, it was like a small town.
Yeah.
And this one, it's like a future city. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, fuck it. Give me all of it.
Do it all. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's the 21st century of Hamlet. Everyone has their Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Everyone has their take.
Yeah.
I want to see Sir Laurence Olivier and fucking Resident Evil.
Absolutely. And Lance Reddick as Whisker. Old Whiskers.
Do it up. Get Lance Reddick in there as Whisker.
Yeah, I'm loving this. It's just.
Can I just share that when a delightful story I heard once is that apparently when Lance Reddick was shooting the show Fringe, he was living up in Toronto by himself, was kind of lonely, and apparently he became really friendly with the owners of a local comic book shop, and he just apparently did a ton. He basically became a huge graphic novel fan while he was working on that show, and so he's a huge genre guy. He just doesn't get to do a ton of it beyond Fringe, so it's very exciting for him to for I guess fans of him to see him get to do stuff like this, because he is also a fan of it.
I'm excited for him. Yeah,
he does do a lot of voiceover in video games.
That's true.
Right.
Has he ever done a voiceover in a Resident Evil game?
No, but he's not.
Yeah,
which is weird. Because he's been in
there are a lot of
them. Game. Yeah,
or
there's 100 Resident Evil games.
Yeah, maybe they offer it and he's like, "No, I'm going straight to the source. I want the whole Reddick."
I mean, he
in
could have
there.
pulled an Ahsoka Tano and, like, voiced no, it was Bo-Katan. Jeez, come on, Liz, get your shit together.
The Katie Sackhoff character, right?
Yeah, Katie Sackhoff originated the character on the Clone Wars in animated, just as voice in animated form, and then they cast her as the actual character in Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, that all checks out. I mean, yeah,
Listen, I'm just happy to see Lance Reddick in some hot zombie action.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me actually ask, who is Albert Wesker? Who is that character?
He's the main bad guy, or one of the primary villains of the series.
Fun.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if
Why
it'll
would
be
I
good.
not? Why would I not? It's on Netflix. It's gonna be right there in front of me. So how am I not gonna watch a Resident Evil Netflix show starring Lance Reddick that's gonna take me no additional investment of money, just my time, my precious time on this planet. Mm-hmm. That's all it asks of me, and I happily give it.
Yep. Yeah, happily. And again, I don't get it. It's kind of the most generic zombies are.
Yeah.
And I still am like, I'm in. I don't. I have no idea why. I think I just like every version that's come out. Obviously, the Mila Jovovich sequels have some issues.
They get pretty poopy toward the end there.
But that first one, it's like, oh yeah, this is a version. And then that new one, it's like, oh, this is also a version. And then this, I'm like, this too is a version of this same fucking story that I'm going to watch. I completely understand why other people might feel differently. And we did it.
Let them all in, I say.
Yeah.
Man.
We did
Is that it? Are we out of trailers? Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
We did it.
We have some brief news stories, but first, we got to thank some more patrons. So big thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Definitely Not Caramel Del Toro. Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Sure do.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Beep boop.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Happy Ed 209.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Tiger Doors Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Beautiful.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Thank you.
Thank you to E.T. the extravagant terresticle.
Thank
Thank
you.
you to Cody Johnston's time machine noise.
Thank
you to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to pre-order Jason Pargent's new book. Pre-orders are super important.
Thank you.
Woo!
It's true.
Once again, I thank none of you, but I am grateful for your existence.
Of course. We have one brief news story. I don't feel like we have to talk about it too much. Ezra Miller, they are on a rampage.
Yeah.
And there's talk of them being replaced as the Flash.
But then it was apparently debunked, so who knows?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not a bad idea.
It
would require a lot of money.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's true.
But you could argue they might not make that much money with the Flash. I don't know. I don't know how much people care about Ezra Miller's
let's not
rampage.
forget that the Oscar-winning cheer moment of 2021 was when the Flash entered the Speed Force, Dave. So
yeah, that's true.
There's the huge Flash hive.
I have
waiting.
no idea what you're referring to.
Tom, do you remember where you were when the Flash broke the Speed Force?
I do. I will never forget.
He entered the Speed Force. He didn't break it.
I was watching a documentary about the day that Kennedy was assassinated in 9/11 at the same time. Then I remembered this is when the Flash entered the Speed Force.
This is, of course, one of the problems we talked about with Justice League, which is that by not giving them their own movies first, like, I keep hearing about the Flash movie and I can't care because he's a side character in Justice League, and they gave me no reason to want to see a movie. Like, I don't know what's at stake. I don't know what his deal is. I don't.
He's the Flash. He runs really fast. What are you talking about?
I know, but like, what's his big villain? What's
Reverse
his life
Flash?
Like? Is it? Is it just like a really slow guy?
That's one of them. Reverse Flash.
Is it a slow guy?
No,
Please tell me
he's
it's
not slow.
Fuck.
But sometimes he fights really big ones. Like he fights Gorilla Grodd. He fights a Humanzi. Is that right? No, that's not right. That's a James Gunn movie I don't want to think about.
Ultra Humanoid.
Oh, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Captain Boomerang, that's a Flash villain.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
The only selling point for this is it's got Mikel Keaton in it, right?
Yeah, it's the Flashpoint movie where Flash like screws up the timeline, and it's basically their multiverse of madness is what it's shaping up to be.
Feels a little too late, but
Yeah. It'll be. I'm looking forwad to it. Everything teased about Michael Keaton's presence sounds delightful. Just let him be cranky old Batman, then go on and make a Batman Beyond movie, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
There it is.
I will say, a friend of mine mentioned that Manny Jacinto would be a really good replacement for the Flash, and that is now all I want.
He would be pretty great.
Yeah.
He'd be so fun and charming and sweet, and it'd be lovely.
Jason Mendoza entering the Speed Force.
Yeah, why not? Well, Warner Brothers really has some problems with their actors, huh?
Like they're both in the same franchise too. Fantastic Beasts.
Yep. And then there's the Aquaman deal with what's her name, Amber Heard. It's just they pick very controversial people, it seems, or like they get them after the fact. It's weird. It's very weird.
Oh man, for a good time, by the way, and I'm not saying this is actually a good time, but it's worth digging up. I think it was either 2017 or 2018, whenever they were promoting. But apparently there was. Well, no, Aquaman was 2017, right, Tom?
2018.
2018. Okay, so this would be summer of 2018. Dig up stories, whatever stories you can find on the Warner Brothers presentation at Comic-Con, because apparently by all reports, someone really messed up or someone just did not care, and both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, post-divorce, were backstage at the same time.
Yeah, their presentations were back-to-back, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. Not
That
awkward in the slightest.
Yeah. Good God. So yeah, the Flash. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller.
Well, I
Someone
think
needs to stop Ezra Miller.
Well, I think honestly, the really cynical attitude I've seen other people express is that, they are pulling out this bullshit now, and then did Flash get delayed to next year?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then Black Adam, I think, is now the end of the year. I can't remember now.
Well, Shazam moved up.
Right, that's right. Man, I can't keep the release schedule.
I don't care. I really don't care about any of these.
Yeah, of course. But the point that someone made somewhere was that we're gonna take some time in a year. They'll do like a big splashy feature about them, recovering and doing the work, and now they are ready to be a proper movie star all over again.
Right.
And
sure.
So, who hasn't thrown a few chairs?
Oh yeah, of course.
But
whomst among us?
Assault as karaoke bars. Yeah. God.
It's messy.
It's gonna have to start doing Ezra Miller drills in karaoke bars.
Yeah.
That is such a terribly sad thing to laugh about, but at the same time.
There was some other minor news that came out today. I'm trying to remember if nothing with it really. Dan Stevens is going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong 2, which Adam Wingard is directing.
On that subject, they're considering doing the guest too.
I saw that as well.
They're trying to sell this is Spinal Tap 2.
I did see that. Yep.
Yep. There's talk of Superbad 2, but no one wants to actually do it. But Judd Apatow,
of course.
And of course, fucking Francis Ford Coppola just has the coolest fucking cast for his
Megalopolis.
Yeah, he's got Adam Driver, who is basically Adam Driver is like every art house director from like every era looked at him and they're like, I got to get some of that.
That guy.
I
yeah.
want that so bad in me. Like he just screamed it. That like it was just like, fuck yeah, get me Adam Driver immediately. And I'm happy for Adam Driver for that reason.
I love the fact that Adam Driver is doing what you've seen so many smart actors do before him. Like Donald Glover did it. Tom Cruise did it, where you just like any opportunity they can to work with a great director, they will take it. They will.
Yeah.
And, like some of Tom Cruise's work remains some of Tom Cruise's best work remains from the 90s when he was doing this thing of just like, I'm going to work with Kubrick. I'm going to work with Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm going to work with other people, De Palma. Woo.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck yeah. Like if I had that power, I would do it too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Learn from the best.
Yeah. One final piece of news I want to mention, and this was brought up today. Blumhouse is releasing soon a horror movie in August about it's a slasher at a gay conversion camp called They/Them. And I have a feeling it's not going to be what, like, I see why they had to name it They/Them, right? Like that is a pun for a slasher horror. I'm very suspicious of this, but I don't know who's behind it. But that's also a thing that's happening.
Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
No, you please go first.
Well, I was going to say I read the release that I got this morning, and it's so on the one hand, it's written and directed by John Logan, who you may remember from such things as Gladiator and Penny Dreadful. And lots of other writing work in both film and television. He is responsible for the script for Star Trek Nemesis, and someday I will let him forget it. I don't know him or anything, film. But yeah, that is not my favorite Star Trek film.
No, in fact, the worst Star Trek film.
Anyway. Yes, okay. I was just trying to be polite. Anyway, but also it stars Kevin Bacon and Anna Chomsky.
Yeah.
And that's kind of baller.
Yeah, I think it's on the side of LGBTQ people.
Yeah,
I think Blumhouse's involvement's a pretty everything. Yeah, I've heard it's not pretty
like
good, so
it's not like Triggered, the horror movie.
Yeah,
and so like I really like the pronoun puns. Where the internet is pretty sick of. But They/Them, it's like, yeah, you have to.
You kind of had to
name
do that.
it that. Yeah, like
that's pretty good.
That's like the best pun ever.
Can I just please say that Tom rolled his eyes at something you just said in such a way where it was just all white, and I was so impressed.
Oh, what was it? What I didn't even remember doing it.
It must have been They/Them.
No, it was no, I think he was like trigger warning the movie or something like that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Triggered the horror. Yeah, it's like
that movie's called shit like that.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's awful. But yeah, I'm excited for that, whatever this is going to be. I mean, Kevin Bacon. We love Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah.
His name is Kevin Bacon. That's such
got
a
hanking for
name.
some bacon.
Perfect name.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have some more people to thank, so let's do that.
All right.
Right.
Let's thank Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. Thank you to Kevin Bacon.
I'll thank Kevin Bacon.
He's done so much for you.
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron. What patrons at midnight?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew, the proud Satanist.
Hail Satan.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Lauren Gucci.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bootler Boodleson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Tux.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Norm.
Thank you to Space McNulty.
Always up there among the stars. Let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Thank you to Nolan Mayton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew. Follow Marina on Twitch on Twitch and Patreon at Heartfist Brain McGuire.
Woo!
Screwed that up. Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Tip Drizzle.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Always.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Aaron Burr.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Woo!
Thank you to Funky J.
Thank you.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Pie Guy.
Oh, man.
Whew.
Dave.
I am pooped.
Well, hold on.
I'm shat, Tom. I'm shat.
Before the sweet release of Shat,
What?
I'm gonna need you to cut the shit.
I don't know what this is.
All right, cut the shit, Dave. Tell me whether or not you have a movie that deserves more hype.
All right.
Oh!
You know, I do.
Son of a bitch!
I know. I tricked you.
I know you
with
did.
my brilliant acting.
You paused.
Listen, this is called Dawn Breaks Behind the Eyes. It's coming out June 24th on streaming. It is being kind of called like a love letter to like 70s European horror. It feels very Argento a little bit.
It does, extremely, yeah.
It's about a woman and her husband have to spend a night in a haunted mansion. Like, that is kind of what it's about. They inherit a haunted mansion. They have to, like, they go in, they're gonna fix it up, and then it just, man, from the trailer, looks like shit gets wild.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it all takes place in this house. It seems like just really trippy. Not a lot of the reviews are saying like it's not particularly gory. Although one quote, there is one brilliant moment that will make all the males watching wince. So that sounds fun. Yeah.
So you're gonna start talking about the draft?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it feels like a slow burn that becomes, wow, that escalated. And the trailer sure reflects that. It looks, fucking nuts.
Yeah, it looks like psychedelic European horror. It's also German as shit.
Yes, too German.
It's extremely German.
Yeah.
This looks pretty awesome to me, honestly. Like,
I'm really excited.
Yeah, this is like that Argento vibe for sure. You hit it on the head. It's exactly what it looks like. It's like really surreal and trippy and like really uncomfortable, but in a good way. I don't know. I'm into it. This is my shit. I want the score to be done by Goblin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get Goblin in here
on 3 LPs.
I like the part where it's 70 minutes long.
That is dope. Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be.
The shorter the movie is, it's usually always worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say the more contemporary thing to think about is like Mandy. Like if people liked Mandy, this not the same tone, but it's I think visually, in that neighborhood. Yeah. So people should definitely check out the trailer. Dawn Breaks Behind the Eyes. Yeah, fucking an hour and 13 minutes. That's wild. That's like fucking Bambi length or Dumbo length.
I can still run errands after I watch that movie.
Yeah. And yeah, it looks fucking weird. The guy at one point finds a whip and then he's just like outside whipping.
Yeah. Then he's just whiplash for the rest of the movie. Yeah, it's like, I got this whip.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would do that too.
Me too. That I was about to say, it's the most relatable moment. Yeah. he's like a 10-year-old,
right?
Yeah,
you would show up at this manor, this haunted manor you just inherited, and you'd see cool whip, and then that would be your whip for the rest of the weekend.
That's your whip now. It's free whip.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. It's really kind of, you really got to watch the trailer because the synopsis is like, sure, it's a haunted house movie, and then you watch the trailer, and you're like, oh, I see, it's bonkers. It's a haunted house movie the way Houseu is a haunted house movie,
Precisely.
Where it's like,
Bless.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Mm-hmm. Bless house. Bless this house.
Bless this Houseu. That's it. That's my pitch.
Good.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Okay.
Sounds worth finding and checking out.
I think so. I agree.
Guys, I think that's it. I think we've done it. I think that's a
song. We hyped.
Woo!
Oh, it was so hype. Liz, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah,
thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Of course, anytime. What do you want to plug? What do you want to tell people about? Where can they find you?
Tell the world whatever you want.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Lizlet, Lizlet. You can find me on Letterboxd at also Lizlet. And go by Consequence, which is where most of my writing lives now, and you'll find lots of fun, great music and pop culture coverage. So that's consequence.net. I just published this week interviews with the composer behind Better Call Saul, Danny Elfman, the star of Hacks, and Hannah Einbinder. Tomorrow I'm running an interview with, so that'll be Friday. I'm hopefully running an interview with Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall. That was fun. Yeah. So keep him busy watching all the films and TV shows, and occasionally paying other people to watch and review them for me, because I don't want to do it.
There's just too many. There's too many of them.
There's a lot of movies.
And some of them are Cronenberg, and David Cronenberg would probably prefer that I have someone else review his film. I think he would appreciate that choice on my part.
Yeah. You're welcome, Cronenberg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Him I'm not thanking either. He's done nothing for me.
But he's done so much for us all.
I know. I take that back. Thank you, David Cronenberg. Also, you're welcome.
Yeah. Right on. I guess I'll plug our Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. If you go on there for $5 a month, you get access to a bunch of exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. We also watch movies with our patrons every Friday night. That is the night of this episode coming out.
That's tonight!
Yep. We're going to watch movies. So check that out. You love movies. Movies.
I'm glad we decided to end it that way. We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of things. So check that out.
Yeah.
And that's it. We're done.
Yay! Woo! Thank you for having me.
Of course. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.